Hey guys, Elliot here. Answers questions about flood insurance, something I get asked all the time. Nobody ever knows if they need to buy it. Most people don't. Here's a house. This will show you a picture. Could this be you? Check it out. So most of my clients, I've got to say, have never bought flood insurance. I've never bought flood insurance. Those people that don't buy it usually don't think it could ever happen to them. Nothing can happen. They're probably safe. Well, I don't live on the river. I don't live up next to a creek, so it couldn't happen to me, of course, right? Right. So flood insurance is always said to cause more damage than any other natural disaster. May not happen as often, but when it does, it's big. So that's something to really keep in mind. And could you afford to pay for the damages if something happened? That's insurance at its basic principles is spreading the risk by you pay a small amount of premium and hopefully to offset a large amount of risk if it ever happens. So here's a statistic. So I looked this up just for Arkansas alone. Since 1978, there have been just short of $113 billion in flood insurance claims to be paid out. Like I said, most people don't buy flood insurance. Those are the amount of claims that have been paid. So how much more damage was there for people that had never bought flood insurance? That's big. That's a lot of damage. And really that's just almost my lifetime right there. So, but there's a lot of things people don't know about flood insurance. Here's one. Did you know that there's a 30-day waiting period to buy flood insurance? So let's say you waited until a big storm was coming. There's a big hurricane coming through. It's going to release a lot of rain. And you think, you know what? I better go ahead and get that flood insurance I've been putting off. There's a 30-day wait. By the time it takes effect, the storm's over. The only way to get around the 30-day wait is if it's a new home purchase and a mortgage company's requiring it. Then you can petition to get that done. Otherwise, you wait 30 days. So it's definitely something you got to plan for ahead of time. Here's another factor is how much coverage can I get? Most people don't realize for your house, you can only, this is for residential flood insurance, you can only get up to $250,000 in insurance on your house. And then you can only get up to $100,000 in content. So it's limited. Now here's the principle behind that. If it flooded, now this doesn't protect if your house were to be wiped away. But if there's a flood, it probably floods the lower couple feet of the house. You could come in and replace the sheetrock, the floors, etc. And even if it's a much larger house than $250,000, you could still just come in and replace that. Just the remediation and to clean things up. But really, there's still risk for some that have a much larger house. So that's something to consider. Here's a picture here. Check this out of what it looks like when they come in and clean your house up. It's a pretty rough process. And then check out this picture. Here's another picture here of something even more extensive of damage having to be repaired. Check this out. So here's some examples. I think most people, whenever they think about flood insurance, they think of something like Hurricane Katrina. It's going to come in where it just completely washed out New Orleans. But flood insurance can be much smaller than that, or flood damage can be much smaller than that. It could be literally your street that fills up just due to rain. Here's something that I saw. We lived in Maumelle, Arkansas, area called Country Club of Arkansas, just a little residential community. It's a pretty flat neighborhood, no water nearby, but here's what happened. So we got rain for days and days and days. The sewers got to capacity. Then the water started backing up out of the sewers, and the water was coming up and filling into people's yards. And then it kept raining. It kept filling up. It got up to their steps. It came in their doors. And then here we are. We have a flood. So most people would think your homeowner's insurance would cover this, and it won't. If you didn't have flood insurance to pay for this, then you're out. And you've got people coming in to rip up floors and dry all this out, and it could lead to mold or mildew. This could get pretty bad. So, you know, a lot of us that live in areas that we don't think it could happen, it really possibly could. So, and the process to have them clean it up, as I just showed you a couple of pictures there, to have them come clean that up, it's a long, drawn-out process. So here's one last thing. So flood insurance, it's gone up. There were rate increases this year to offset. There were enough damages. The flood rates had to go up to pay for everything. But it's still, you can start off with a policy if you're not in a high-risk area, somewhere around the $400 range. in Arkansas. Obviously, if you're in a flood zone, if there's high risk, it goes up. But so I hope this helps. Hope it gives you a little insight into flood. Feel free to call us if we can help out with more specific details. If you need quotes, maybe if you're buying a house and you need flood insurance, give us a call. Arkansas Insurance Advisors. Here's our number right here. I've got it at the top of the screen. It's 501-436-6840. Thanks. Have a good day.